Hi, my name is Myra Tanksley, and I am recording this on February the 3rd, 2015. And I am a proud single mom of a son with autism. He'll be 22 years old in a couple of months in April. He is currently confined illegally to a state of Ohio run institution here in Columbus, Ohio. It's called the Columbus Developmental Center. It's an ICF MR facility. ICF means Intermediate Care Facility. MR means mentally retarded. I say he's illegally confined because you need to be moderately retarded to be involuntarily or committed to a facility like that. My son is not moderately retarded. I was the guardian when the probate court did this, the corrupt probate court, and then they also removed me as guardian, and appointed a very corrupt, evil, sick, unfit attorney to be his limited guardian. Somebody that's not gonna say anything while he's being abused. Somebody that goes along to get along. That's the kind of dirty tricks that the government system will do. They just want, everybody to be on the same bandwagon while these residents are being abused and neglected. So, my son's been there since November 2012, over 2 years. And it's been just ongoing abuse and neglect. I actually watched him, much to my own surprise and my son's surprise, be attacked and punched by a state worker. Now, the worker didn't know I was standing there. I call it God's handiwork because I am a Christian, so is my son. And the way God had set this thing up for me to see this boy punch my son in the chest. So, I seen him, but of course he didn't see me. If he had seen me, he wouldn't have punched him, but you can hear it on audio tape. I do have it on tape. And I would have had it on videotape if it wouldn't have been dark. But I wasn't able to, get it on a videotape. Since, it was like in the evening, but it was, too dark to actually get it on video. But it is definitely on audio. And you can hear that. You can actually hear it in 3 places. I got it on my YouTube channel. I also got it on 2 of my Facebook pages. And one of the pages is titled The Abuse and Neglect of Autistic Marquis Tanksley by the Government. The other one is titled Justice for Autistic Marquis Tanksley. So you will be able to hear that. And then, like I said, it is in the YouTube channel. My son has also been abused by other residents too. There's a particular resident that has punched him twice in the face, has called him racial names, has cussed at him, scares my son, upsets him. My son said this particular resident one day was running around with scissors trying to cut people. He has pushed my son down on his knee, and skin came off of his knee. You can see a picture of that on Facebook. And I'm basically, and I know God will handle everything, because my son ain't over there as far as Jesus is concerned, because he deserves it, or he done anything to anybody, or, he's a criminal. I mean, he can't help the way he is. He's a wonderful young man. He hasn't done nothing to nobody, and neither has I. I just been an outspoken mother that won't turn my head like the system does while they abuse and neglect my child. I'm just not that type of mother. And I'm not intimidated by evil, sick people. Because I know God will deal with them in this life. I already seen things that had happened that I know that was God's handiwork. And I know God will work through a Christian, because he ain't happy. He ain't never been on anybody's side that will abuse and neglect helpless people, like kids or people that are disabled. God will deal with you. And every now and then he'll shake it up and he'll choose a Christian who he wants to work through. So I know he's on me and my son's side. But I don't sit up and make up evil things on evil sick people. I don't have to, because they're doing this stuff. These people are legalized criminals, and they practice legalized abuse and legalized neglect in those institutions. And then the courts are just full of corruption. I mean, and incompetence too. I've seen both. And my justice for Autistic, Marquise Tanksley, that's what that page is about. It will show you how these courts and judges and agencies and attorneys abuse their power. They go in there and file all kind of malicious motions, that's full of lies and slander and all that kind of stuff. It's just ridiculous. And I look at the federal government, because to me, the federal government, I know Jesus will take care of this situation and stuff, because me and my son gave it to Jesus, and we know that he's already going to take care of things and stuff, because I believe he wants these people exposed too. But in the natural, the Department of Justice are the ones that really are supposed to enforce, and if they find a whole bunch of mess going on, they're supposed to clean house. And they always say, well, we don't do individual cases. Well, there's never an individual case in an institution or a jail or that sort of thing. If they're doing it to one person that's like that, they're doing it to others. And they have actually it's called a CRIPA Act, but it means Civil Rights of Institutionalized Person Act. And it covers any institution, state institution, like, jails, mental health institute, and the facility or institution my son is in is under that. And like what the title says is, they got civil rights, But my son has just been, his human rights, his civil rights, his constitutional rights have just been violated. Some of mine too. They took his loving guardian away from him, somebody that will speak up and has his best interests in mind, because that slimy, unfit, corrupt, lying, limited guardian that they appointed. And she'll be on the justice page too, She just turned her head along with everybody else and swept it under the rug and denies that my son's been abused and neglected. But if you go to the abuse and neglect of Autistic Marquise Tanksley by the government, you'll see that, like I said, it ain't just me and my son's imagination. It's not all the evidence that I have, but it's enough to show people I'm not full of hot air, because that's the way I like to do it. If I say it, I back it up, because I'm not making this stuff up. I'm seeing this stuff and making sure that I collect the evidence to prove it. So, on February the 1st, 2015, which is the day before yesterday, when I visit my son, he told me that this same resident, and he names him, is actually, was actually fighting him. He said he fought me. I got in a fight with him last week. I don't remember the day. And like I said, this is the same resident that has fought him before and punched him in his face and called him names and cusses at him, and it's scaring my son, it's traumatizing my son. So, you'll hear on this tape him telling me that he fought with this resident, was fighting, and he fought with him, and the resident cussed at him and called him the B word, and that he upset him and stuff. So, I'm putting it out there and letting people hear it from my son. And I'm so glad that even though he's autistic, he's not nonverbal. He could tell me things like that. Some things he don't have to tell me at all. Like I told the idiots over there in one of the meetings, I said, well, there's a lot of things my son don't have to tell me. I said, don't insult my intelligence. I can look at him and tell he's been abused and neglected. I said, he can't even be able to wear his own clothes, because I buy all kind of brand new clothes for my son all the time. And most of them I have never seen on him. But I see they're used, dirty, stained, ill-fitting clothes, that are too big or too small, because they're not his. But they take his brand new clothes and stuff. But I got a record of all of it, so I can prove that too. I just don't put this stuff out here without not being able to prove it. Because in my wildest dreams, I couldn't make up some of the stuff that these people do. But they're legalized criminals, and they're able to, practice legalized abuse and legalized neglect, just because it's in a government facility. And like I said, I blame the federal government, because in the natural, that's who needs to clean it up. You can't expect another state facility to clean, all of that corruption up. It just doesn't work that way. All these people are on the same bandwagon of corruption. They're all, go along to get along. They protect each other. They scratch each other's back. And, and the federal government just, kicks it back to them. I said, there's nobody from the governor on down going to actually do something about a state institution. Because it's the state of Ohio. They're all in it together. That's their government. They got their own investigations that they go through the motions and pretend they're going to do investigation, but they never have any intentions of actually finding any fault or anything. It's just, just awful. But, so I don't have no respect for the federal government, And I'll tell President Obama that. I said, it's pretty pathetic when y'all get to preaching about human rights of other countries and stuff, and you got somebody that can't help themselves being abused in a facility that's run by the government. I said, so I'm not, like I said, I ain't gonna burn the flag. I was born here, I belong here. I said, but you ain't gonna see me standing up talking about some pledge of allegiance, because it's a lie. I said, my son ain't got no life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That, he feel like he's in jail, and I feel like he's in jail too, They took his happiness. He misses me. He loves me. Wants to be back home. They took his liberty. His freedom. He got to be in a place that's just a hellhole. His life. They're taking his SSI now. Because all them people care about is just collecting federal funds. And that's why I look at the federal government. I said, you giving them federal money for that? You treat my son like that? So I don't have no respect for this country at all. I can't stand a hypocrite. If you're going to preach and teach about, the abuses and human rights abuses and all that kind of stuff, you need to make sure your own backyard is together first. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let you hear my son tell me this. How just 2 days ago, he's still suffering abuse from this particular resident, and how it scares him. And I mean, it's physical abuse, it's verbal abuse, it's emotional abuse. It's just ridiculous. Now, this is your government-ran institution. So, then after that, I called, because I call every day to get report on my son, unless I'm visiting. They won't let me see him except for once a week for 60 minutes. Now, like I said, these are sick people. And a staff member got mad that I asked about, was this particular resident by name, like my son tells me his name, was he abusing my son? So I'm going to make an audio video of that after I'm done with this. So here it is, my son Marquise telling me this resident was fighting with him, cussing at him, calling him a B word, and upsetting. Here we go.
I was having a fight with my son last week. I forgot what day, I don't know. But he called me, he cussed at me, hurt my feelings. He called me a B word.
Right. And I'll go ahead and
okay, so there you have it. Him saying this resident upsets him, called him the B word and all of that. And I mean, it's just a terrible thing, because like the thing said, you're supposed to live in a safe and comfortable environment. Ain't nothing safe about him being able, or a resident being able to attack my son, fight with him, scare him, upset him, call him names. I said, there ain't nothing comfortable about it, and it sure ain't safe. But I'm going to go ahead and play this one more time so you can hear it. Because I don't think I had it turned up. But I'm going to turn it up so you hear it. And then I'm going to let you hear the conversation of me and a staff member, that got actually very upset because I asked him, was this particular resident abusing my son? Here is this, again, Marquise telling me that this resident was fighting with him and calling him names.
Anything?
That I had a fight with Matt Simon last week. I forgot what day, I don't know. But he called me, he cussed at me, hurt my feelings. He called me a B word.
Right. And I'll go ahead and
Ever had fights with him.
right.
So there you have it. That should have been a lot clearer. And what does a parent say to something like that when you want to try to reassure your child and comfort them and let them know everything's going to be all right? Well, I do pray with my son. He's a Christian too. He carries around 2 prayer cloths. And I'm a Christian, and we give it to Jesus. We know Jesus is going to have his way with this thing because he's God. He can't be defeated. And I know that Jesus is a just God. Vengeance is mine, I will repay. And he's been the one that has kept me and my son anchor in this thing. But it's so hard. It tears your heart apart. You got to get over there and see your son and hear your son tell you that he's being abused and neglected, and you can see it for yourself too. It's just but this is God's thing, and I know that he's already got this thing already worked out, and most important, I know that he's on me and Marquise's side. You don't want God angry with you and not on your side, but he's on our side. He's in this thing with us. So thank you for listening, and look for the other audio video of me having it out with the staff ground supervisor that told me I shouldn't be asking whether this resident is abusing my son or not. So thank you for listening, and have a blessed one.